Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Kevin and this is the Wrenching Fool. So in this video we're going to be back in my 2019 Chevy Bolt EV. Yes, I still have it. No, GM has not bought it back yet, and it still has the original battery in it. That's a train wreck for another video. But anyway, in this video we're going to be talking efficiency yet again. It's been a long time since I posted my last video. It's gotten pretty cold outside, at least cold for the Pacific Northwest. So I'm gonna go out, do my efficiency loop. So let's head out and get going. All right, the Bolt has been out here preheating. I know for some of you that own Bolts, you're thinking, no, it's not preheating because the lights aren't on. But it is actually preheating. The way that I do it is probably a little bit controversial, but I'm gonna show you anyway. So as we go around and look inside here, the car is actually on, but if we look at the door locks, they're locked. I can't get inside. All the doors are locked. So what I do, and Chevy actually allows you to do this, is I get in there and I'll turn on the car, I'll set the temperature to whatever I want it to be, and then just leave it on. And then once you hop out of the car, you use the key fob and just lock the door. So if I hit the locks, you can kind of hear it lock there. The doors are locked now. But when I want to get back in, all I have to do is push the button and it opens up. Inside it's nice and warm. Now, of course, I could just use the remote start system to preheat the car. That's a perfectly valid way of preheating the car. The benefit of using the method I just described is that it lets you run the car and preheat it longer. And if it's pretty cold outside, I mean, it's not that cold here, but if it is pretty cold outside, you might want to run the car and preheat it longer than the 20 minutes that GM allows with the remote start system. And as far as I can tell, using the method that I just showed you, the car will sit out here and preheat for an hour before it shuts itself back off. The other thing that I've noticed is that if the battery is really cold and you have it hooked up to the level 2 charger like I do here, it is more likely to expend some energy once you hit that 100% mark, to spend some energy heating up the battery if the car is on and plugged into a charger. I'm not sure why, but that's what I've seen. Anyway, so in this video, we're going to be doing another efficiency test, as I mentioned. I'm going to hop on the freeway, do my typical efficiency loop, and we're going to compare the efficiency that we get here in this colder temperature while I'm running the heater. And that's going to be the important part of this one, is kind of what effect does the temperature, running the climate control, all of those things have on our efficiency. Okay, we've made it to our turnaround point. Let's do a quick check-in on the numbers. So we've traveled 84.1 miles so far. We've used a little bit more than half of the battery pack, 31.3 kilowatt hours. That puts us at roughly about 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour, which is pretty horrible. And as you can see, we're sitting at 47.8% on the battery there. So we don't have enough electricity to get back home, which I was expecting. There's plenty of chargers on the way. So I will have to stop at one of the chargers, probably the one in Albany, Electrify America. So let's get back on the road and get headed there. All right, we've arrived here at the charging station, Electrify America here in Albany. We've been here before. Arrived here at 12% state of charge left. It was showing 20 miles left on the guessometer there, and it was about 20 miles to get home. So way too close for comfort to try to make it all the way home, so we did have to stop and charge. Logically, that would make sense anyway, since it took more than 50% of the battery to get to our turnaround point. So we're sitting currently, we've used 52.3 kilowatt hours to drive 146.1 miles. It puts us at roughly about 2.8 miles per kilowatt hour. So it got a little bit better on the way back, but still pretty crappy. So I'm going to sit here and charge up. I probably will just charge up until the speed tapers, and then we'll head home. All right, we've made it back home. It's actually now several days later. I'm here in my office editing the video and realized I didn't ever make an outro. So we'll just go over it now. So I ended up only staying at the charger until charging until 25%. because I realized that sitting there longer than I needed to and paying more for electricity was probably not in my best interest. So I charged up to 25% and I arrived back home with 12% again. So we used 13 additional percentage of the battery. That brings our total consumption of the battery to 101% of the total capacity of the battery. So definitely wouldn't have made it, definitely needed to charge. We traveled a total of 170.5 miles, used a total of 60.2 kilowatt hours of energy, which comes out to 2.83 miles per kilowatt hour. Pretty poor efficiency, just sort of the reality of driving most electric cars in the winter. All of them are going to have some sort of efficiency penalty in the winter, just like every other car. It happens to gasoline and diesel powered vehicles as well. We are down to about 152 miles or so if you drive real world driving from 100% all the way down to 10%. If you are daring enough to drive it all the way down to 0, with this test at least, you might get about 170 miles out of it. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you liked this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions about anything in this video or any other videos on my channel, just head down there to the comment section, leave me a comment. I try to read all of them as much as possible. I've been kind of bad about it recently, but I'm trying to get back into it. If you like this type of content, please subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out. Otherwise, thanks for watching.